In this exercise, it's very, very important to look at the things that are going on around you, things that you can't influence. I know a lot of the best self-help books say things like, oh, if you wish it, it will happen, and all you have to do is think about it, or if there's conflict in your world, avoid it. I have to tell you, from years and years of experience with some of the most incredible innovations in the world, nothing could be farther from the truth. What you want to do is use these things around you, not avoid them. And in order to use them, you have to be attentive. You have to constantly be searching for what's going on around you and making sense at all times. You have to ride what moves. You have to be that surfer on the big waves. So if a recession has happened in your town, maybe it opens up prime locations and it makes affordable prices for that interesting Indonesian restaurant you'd hope to start. So even the worst forces can work to your advantage. Now, we often don't look at the bigger picture because it's too fuzzy or scary, or we believe we can overcome circumstances just by willing it so. It's not true. Every investor, every field general, every community builder, they know that you work with your circumstances. You don't ignore them. So if the battlefield shifts, you have to shift with it. Now, we're going to find our power source in our circumstances. So we are going to enlist these things, these greater forces, but it's very important that you understand that they're not always collaborating with us, and we don't control them. So we're going to be aware of what's happening around us. One of the things I do is I watch PBS all the time. I listen to NPR, I read magazines, I read blogs regularly, I talk to people. I try and keep things in front of me. Not because it's all nice, not because it's all pleasant, but because that's going to tell me what forces are available to me. So most importantly, you have to be mindful, what does this mean to me? What does this mean to me? And more importantly, what does this mean to my goal? How can I use this? How many people do you know that regularly don't look at reality in the eyes and are sort of blindsided by it? Well, we don't want that. We want to use that to our advantage. Now, why do we use the blue box to capture and organize our thoughts around our high-quality target? Why do we actually create a vehicle to put things into? Well, I don't know about you, but my life is very complex, and I bet yours is too. And we're really bombarded with information. There's so much coming at us. We don't have a special place to hold the things that we think are special or important. My life fills up with tasks, probably like yours. And the things that are really important often get drowned out by all of the events and things I have to keep track of. This kid needs to be at a karate practice, or I need to do this for work, or this is something that the church wants me to do. So what the box is it's a very special place where we're going to hold all that, because we're not going to be able to keep it all in our mind. Now, we're going to have to capture those artifacts of thought, and we're going to have to keep them top of mind. Now, what I mean by an artifact of thought, it could be a newspaper article, it could be something you saw on a blog, it could be a picture, it could be a statue, anything that represents the more important idea to you. And the artifacts of thoughts, when we see them together in the box, when we put them out on the table and we look at them, we see how they're connected in ways that simply going through our days isn't going to help us see the connections. What's essential here is when we're coming up with our high-quality target, right? When we come up with what we're really going to be doing, when we're going to take that challenge statement and turn it into something that we're really going to hit, and we're going to hit it hard, we're going to have to see how it all goes together. And that's what taking that blue box and putting those things on the table and looking at them together. Now, we're also going to make emotional connections. When we see these artifacts of thought together, we're going to get new insights, and it's also going to change our mind about some things. One of the things when I do this, and I spread things out from my blue box, I often see that what I thought I wanted, I really don't want. Because we're more than just logical people. There's an emotional part to this. So when you spread it all out and you see the connections and those things jump out as hot spots, they have emotional power, they have emotional energy. Pay close attention to those hot spots, because that's going to tell you where you should focus your high quality target.